What's up, Chaos72 here for another Chaos Toy Review. Today taking a look at the GC10 Grimm and Sanzo parka hoodie Damashii thingies from the Kamen Rider Ghost Ghost Change series. And I know I'm a little bit late on this just because I was waiting to get these because I was trying to get them shipped in with something, and if you see my last review, being the Icon Driver G, I had it shipped in with that. So, obviously we don't need to look at Necrom, but figure have him in the Going Hero pose. So, here we have, and they do come with two stands, as always. Here we have Grimm. His little bottles, well, his little pens. Hard to see, but yeah. Green eyes. Nice white paint. Little ink wells here. Now the white doesn't really go over all the way, which none of these things have paint on the back of them. Because you're not going to be looking at the back of them. But if you kind of want to angle it a little bit, you may want to paint them a bit. But to get him ready for parka, just slide that forward into the little well on his shoulders. And they are on little swivels here. Flip this up. Oh, and the pen goes pretty much throughout the entire thing, and he has a little quiff right there. And unlike the other ghosts, Necrom's 2 are different in the aspect of he keeps the same face design, except his eye is changed. This is a book, and we'll see on Sanzo over there. It is a chakram. So, Grimm. Fighting pen. And here we have Necrom Grimm Damashii. Now I'm not going to show it on the other figures just because obviously it does work with them, but because of this it's not going to look too great. And with all ghosts besides Tokon, Necrom base, and going to Grateful, and what is going to be Deep Spectre, and probably an issue with Mugen. So if you want to change the face, or if you want to have posability in the head, just pop it out through here, and you'll have all the posability in the head. Now speaking of posability, between the two, I think Grimm looks the best on him, but Grimm also suffers the most breaking of thing because he has such big sleeves. Little thing here, not too bad. Then there you start breaking up the thing. The aesthetic. I mean, all the posability's there, it's just you break the aesthetic, which is kind of a big thing for me, and I think it's a big thing for a lot of people, since most of the websites I've seen, these sort of things just sit around. I like them, but I understand they're not everyone's cup of tea. And he can hold the little pens. Not super well. Kind of holds them more like pew-pew guns, but he can hold them without warping the plastic. So, there's that. Now, pretty much the main reason I got this is for one, to have a parka to put on. Necrom here is Sanzo, who apparently wrote these, had something to do, I don't know the specifics, had something to do with the story Journey to the West, which gave way to Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z by extension. So this is probably the closest we're going to have to a figure, a Kamen Rider version of Goku, and this is a monkey face here. So I think this is supposed to be Son Goku, given the crest. And this isn't exactly the best painted on these, since I know the eyes aren't painted in and stuff, but they're not necessarily needed. On the back, You have, I think it's supposed to be a kappa, but I could be very, very wrong. You have a little crown motif, white, and this one kind of suffers the most from not being painted just because there is so much white on it. And then you get to the back, but again, you're not going to be looking at it from the back. And like I said, a chakram as the visor. This comes off, being held on by this clip, a chakram. Now, it's not the same size it is as in the show, but that's because this has to serve dual purpose, whereas the chakram in the show can use CGI and be changed props. So, same as all GC releases. His seems to be a little bit more firm in the back, but that's probably because of the thing holding on the plate. Make sure everything is on. And there you go. Sanzo. Now, I think it looks the best. Actually, yeah, I kind of think it looks the best just because there's more white here, and Necrom, I would say, is a white rider. Even though he, I would say, probably identified as green, but Necrom, most of Necrom is white, so I would classify him as a white rider. So I think he looks the best, and because of the way these are designed, I want to say in the show they aren't exactly sleeves, since the way they're designed, I doubt they would wrap around the suit's arm. So you can get away with a little bit more poses, especially doing like this sort of thing, where you're kind of breaking the appearance a bit. So this is the kind of pose I seem to have him go in, sort of a meditation pose. Can't do it exactly because you don't have, you know, the wrist ball joint, but he also can hold the chakram, so this looks kind of neat. So yeah, kind of a short review, but is what it is. Do I recommend these? Yes, especially if you're trying to collect all 15, which you're going to get a little pricey once you get to Newton and Himiko, unfortunately. But if you're at least getting for Necrom, something to represent, you can't go wrong with either of them, since it looks like Necrom out of the 3 is not getting an upgrade. So, which raises the question of how is he going to keep up power level wise to stuff like Grateful, Mugen, and Deep Spectre, but that remains to be seen. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And let me know which is your, now that we have all 15 at least announced / out, now that we have all 15 parkas announced and out, which is your favorite parka? I would say my favorite has to be Ryoma, just because it's, one, it's the least hindered because the suit works very similar to the figure, and two, I just like the long robed look, and I do like the color and the faceplate and the character and all that. So, and if I had to choose a second favorite, I'd probably go with, I'd say Houdini is one of the more interesting, and maybe Tutankhamun. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.